We begin short. Why aren't you going in a full clip? We'll begin right after this. One moment. One moment before we go to. Why, hi there. I'm Ron Juckett, and Retro Sports Network presents Lunchtime Football, NFL Lunch Replay 78, a Week 3 matchup between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins from the Orange Bowl in Miami. This Week 3 matchup is brought to you by Polar All Natural Seltzer. This time it's black cherry, calorie-free, all natural, refreshingly natural Polar Seltzer. And by Chex Mix, because the stuff I just had tasted so good. Chex Mix. Do your body right and get something salty into it today. So, here's a surprise for you. The Bills and the Dolphins are both 2-0. The Dolphins being 2-0 are not a surprise. They were the wild card team, or one of the wild card teams from the AFC. And remember, New England won the division in 1978, and Miami was a wild card. Buffalo, on the other hand, was 5-11. And so the fact that they come into this game at 2-0 is a major surprise. This was really unexpected. And with the Patriots 0-2 heading into this week, I know what the Patriots did already in Week 3. This is a game that will give whoever wins a major advantage in the race for the AFC East. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll have the other half of the doubleheader for Week 3, and that will be San Diego and Denver, who are 2-0. But today, it's Buffalo and Miami, and it will be Bob Greasy at quarterback, which is interesting because in real life, it was Don Strock against Joe Ferguson. And as Buffalo can run the football, look at Miller up here. In his 46 carries, he's averaging almost 6 yards a carry, 5.4. Well, it's over 5. Miami's going to run the football. They're going to throw some too. But this is primarily two running teams going at it. Buffalo has won the toss. You can see the weather. 79 degrees in September, which is delicious for this time of year in Miami. With little wind. The wind's at 0-5. And in real life, this game was played at 4 o'clock. The line, Miami by 4. I think Miami will win by more than that, but you just never know. And so Moody will be back for the Bills. They are in their white jerseys with white helmets, with the Buffalo, with the blue bill, with the red streak, and the dark pants. Miami, surprisingly enough, is in their teal with the white helmets, and they will kick it off. Moody back deep. And we are underway from the Orange Bowl in this Week 3 AFC East game. It's taken by one of the up men at the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35-yard line.
Receiving team.
But Upremian's kick, there's a penalty there on Grant. So the Bills will start this first drive at their own 7. So Terry Miller is the primary running back for Buffalo. who's a 1,000-yard rusher. And Curtis Brown, not that young, is the other running back. And so Buffalo will go off tackle to Miller. And I don't know why this is so slow. Miller gets around the 10-yard line. He gets it to the 12. The ball is loose and recovered by Buffalo. Brown will get it, the other running back. Curtis Brown. And we have Bob Chandler up on the flanker side on the far side. He's your Frank Lewis, who's a pretty good receiver. And Reuben Gant is your tight end. To go with Joe Ferguson. Oh, is that in Arkansas? I was wondering where. Yeah, I suppose it is. So it really is Joe Ferguson. It came with a pack of for 2nd and 10 pictures, and I always wondered. There's no face mask there. He's not that old. The line for Buffalo pretty much is the same as it was when OJ was there. It'll be Devlin and Drungo on the tackles, McKenzie and Delamilary at the guards, and Parker at center. And Delamilary is the best guard. He's a 9 out of 10. It'll be 2nd down and 5 following the recovered fumble. Brown on a sweep right is the call. And he has a block, but doesn't get very far. A.J. Dewey with a tackle. It's a 1-yard gain. So 3rd down and 4 for the Bills, 1 minute into this. And the weather, as I said a bit earlier, it's a gorgeous day. 79, a little wind here on the floor of the Orange Bowl. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for Miami. They play a 3-4. Den Herder and A.J. Dewey are your defensive ends. Baumauer, the Killer B defense, is pretty much an effective defensive tackle. Beaucamper and Gordon are your outside linebackers. Chambers and Towell are your inside linebackers. Thomas and Johnson your corners. Foley and Volk are your safeties. And it's a short slant to Reuben Gant on 3rd and 4 from their own 13. Ferguson has time. There's a flag down.
The passer. Defense. Number 77, 15 yards.
Oh, well.
1st down.
There's no picture of A.J. Dewey, but he hit Ferguson just below the helmet after the throw was away. And so instead of having to punt, Buffalo is 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. So I'm going to do a medium slant to Chandler on 1st down. Ferguson back to throw. Has Chandler for a 1st down at the 40. Crosses the 45 midfield to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. And is finally tackled by the safety Foley at the 19-yard line after a gain of 53 yards. So a good start for the Bills. And somewhere up in the really cheap skybox seats, I hear a father going, B-U-F-F-A-L-O, Buffalo, Buffalo, go, go, go. So a great start for the Bills. The Bills, as I said, were 5-11 on the regular year. They're 2-0 in this replay. Now, they beat the Jets in Week 2, which is not a big surprise. The Jets were not a good team in 1978, but they beat the eventual Super Bowl champion Steelers in Week 1. So it's not like the Bills are bottom-feeding to get here. That was a massive play. Miller trap left is the call. Waits for his blocking to set up, but there's none there, and Towell, the inside linebacker, makes the tackle. And it'll be 2nd down and 11, a loss of 1. And it'll be at the Miami 20-yard line. So Ferguson. Trap left to Brown. And he doesn't have much room at all. Gets Beaucamper. Will tackle him for no gain. So 3rd down and 11 for the Bills at the Miami 20. We go 3 wide for the first time today. Ferguson has to call an audible. So it's a screen pass to Miller, who has it at the 25. He gets the original line of scrimmage. He gets to the 15. Flags are down. Beaucamper will tackle him.
Penalties. Repeat. Third down.
At the 11, and it's all for naught because both teams committed a boo-boo. So, third down and 11 again. Roland Hooks comes in because he's fresher. And it's a medium slant to Lewis as the call. So Ferguson's back, has time. Over the middle of Lewis has a first down and a touchdown. So the offsetting penalty set up the touchdown. Frank Lewis scores, and it's 6-0 Bills, following a 6-play, 93-yard drive to start the ball game. And the extra point is up, and Tom Dempsey hits it. So it's 7-0 Buffalo, 10:48 to go first quarter. Ferguson, 2 for 2 for 73 yards. And if Miami can't stop Ferguson, they're going to be in a world of hurt. All set up as the kick by Dempsey is away to the main returner at the 3-yard line. Should have set that one up a little better, play-by-play, dude. 15-20, 25, but another penalty.
Team.
Well, Nat Moore gets called with the illegal block. And so Miami starts their first drive from the 11. Bullock and Tillman are already tired. So it's Williams and Leroy Harris are the two setbacks for Miami. Lower-eared McCreary will start as wide receiver. Your near side receiver is Dariel Harris. And your far side receiver is Nat Moore. Delvin Williams, who was a 1,000-yard rusher, will get a lot of the football. Buffalo cannot stop the run. And he'll start with an off tackle to the right. Greasy hands off to Williams. He gets to the 15 before Dokes makes a tackle. Oh, there was a fumble, but it was after the hit, so nothing to do. And Williams gained 7, second down and 3. Actually, I cheated a little bit. Miami had grass then in the late 70s, but they never had their end zones written in with the Dolphin stuff. It always said Orange Bowl, because remember the University of Miami played their games there, and so I just threw that field in there. I have a joke about that later. We'll get to that, but yes. But that's why, because it looked more realistic than what was there, than my other choice. All right, so it's second down and 3 for Miami. Fullback dive to Harris is the call on second down and 3, and he has the first down easily and gets it across to the 25-yard line before Sherman White makes the tackle. 8-yard gain for Leroy Harris, first and 10 for the Dolphins. Buffalo plays a 4-3. Williams and White are your ends. Hardison and Dokes are your tackles. Sanford and Nelson are your outside linebackers. McClanahan, your inside linebacker. Clark and Rome's the corners. Green and Jones the safeties. First and 10 for Miami at their own 26-yard line. In real life, Don Strock only threw 12 passes in this game. They just kept it on the ground. And that's what we'll do, is sweep to the near side for Williams. And he gets a little bit of a block before Ben Williams makes the tackle. A gain of 2. Second down and 8. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Buffalo, the Cinderella of the 78 season. Medium slant to Nat Moore is the call. Greasy back to throw. He's flushed. He rolls. He looks for Harris, and he has it at the 40. Midfield into Buffalo territory to the 40. 35-30. 25-20. Makes a cut. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! A 72-yard bomb from Greasy to Harris, and Harris ran it himself about 60 yards. So the Buffalo defense breaks down, and with 8:06 to go in the period, Miami will try to tie this on an extra point. Let's watch the replay first. Greasy's flushed. He rolls it the wrong way and then flicks it to his second read, who was wide open. There was one Buffalo defender who I thought would make the tackle at the 30, a variety of jukes and cuts, and he scores. That's how you do it. So here comes the extra point. Your premium nails it, and with 8:06 to go in the first quarter, it is Miami 7, Buffalo 7. And so Brown and Johnson are the upbacks for Buffalo, and Moody is the return man. Buffalo cannot get in a shootout with Miami and hope to win. Was that the call? Yeah, he needs some oxygen. Well, it's Miami. So he needs, well, I won't go there. He needs some South Beach treatment. Your Premium is getting ready. Gets the kick away. It'll be taken by Moody at the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This time there's no flags. Johnson with the tackle. Your Premium in that picture looks a lot like Stanley Spornak from the Golden Girls. And Garrow, who was best known for a boo-boo in Super Bowl VII, successful man in the business world after his kicking days were done. Thank you for being a friend. Appropriate that someone that looked like that would play for the Miami Dolphins. He actually was from Hungary, an immigrant. 1st and 10 for the Bills, 8 minutes to go. Miller off tackle left is the call. And he loses a couple yards. Kim Beaucamper, with the second stop of the game, makes it 2nd and 11 from the 29. So Brown on a pitch left. Ferguson, that's a botched snap. They're on him in a hurry. He loses the football. Towel knocks it away, but it's recovered by Buffalo. Lewis got it back, and you can't. Oops. The Holy Roller rules are already in effect. You cannot advance it past the line of scrimmage. And it'll be a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 13 for the Bills. Frank Lewis on a medium hitch. Miami blitzes. Ferguson is intercepted by Thomas to the 30, 20, 10. That's 6. Norris Thomas just jumped right in front of that, saw it all the way, and he had a whole bunch of plastic without anybody there. And so it's a touchdown for Miami. I'm not sure how many yards on the return, but now it is 13-7. Miami blitzed. Ferguson should have audibled that call. And so once again, here's your Premium. Extra point is up. Extra point is good. Miami leads 14-7 with 6:32 to go. Again, those are the mistakes that Joe Ferguson made. Now, Buffalo in a couple years' time would be a good team. For about 3 years, they were just on the verge of being in the AFC elite. But 1978 is not one of those years. Anyway, they get the ball back. They're only down 7. Your Premium gets a foot on it. And it'll be Moody. No, it's one of the upmen at the 4 to the 20. And not much more. Simpson on the stop. Dennis Johnson on the return. And so 1st and 10 for the Bills. 6:27 to go first quarter. Hope you're having a good lunch. If you're just starting lunch, I had some beef jerky. Nummy, nummy. So it's a short out to Lewis is the call. Ferguson has time, but deflected by Thomas, but incomplete. So Thomas, we just had the interception, got to hand it another one. Maybe throwing towards that side is not what the Bills should be doing. Miller on a sweep to the near side. And he cannot even get to the line of scrimmage. A.J. Dewey had that snuffed out. They played pass. and went for and stopped the run. So it's a loss of 3. It's about what I expected for Buffalo. They've ran it 7 times and they've lost a yard. Medium cross to Lewis on 3rd and 13. Ferguson back to throw. Miami on him in a hurry, and it is incomplete. Tried to dump it down to Hooks, the third, the running back in on the 3 wide receiver set, and wasn't there. So A.J. Dewey gets in on a hurry. A.J. Dewey single-handedly took the Dolphins to the Super Bowl one year. So Buffalo will be forced to punt. And now I hope their defense can do something. 14-7 Miami as Rusty Jackson comes out for the punt. Punting with the little breeze that there is. Jimmy Cephalo is the little blob at the 42. And he takes it at the 45 to the 50. Across midfield to the 40. It's a gain of 14. Sanford with a tackle. And with 6:03 to go, Miami starts this drive from the Buffalo 42. Sweep left to Williams. To the near side is the call. He gets a good block. No, he doesn't. He gets back to the line before D. Hardison, the left defensive tackle, makes the stop. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Dolphins, just under 6 to go in the first quarter. So tomorrow, San Diego and Denver from Mile High Stadium, the other 2-0 matchup for the week. And then for week 4, I think we can get to our conventional Tuesday-Thursday setup for the next 2 weeks. And the games I'm thinking of right now, the Tuesday game I'm thinking, depending on what happens with the San Diego-Denver game tomorrow, the Rams and Oilers, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Cleveland's 3-0 and Pittsburgh's 2-1 because I've played the rest of week 3 already. And then the Monday night game I think I'll do Thursday between Minnesota and Chicago because we haven't done a lot of NFC games that don't involve the Cowboys. In fact, I don't think I've done any games for the NFC that don't involve the Cowboys. 2nd down and 10. Harris on the fullback dive, and he does get a block across the 40, 35 to the 33, again at 9 before Lucius Sanford makes a tackle. So Ed Newman, the right guard, makes the stop. Kuchenberg and Current are the tackles for the Dolphins. Little and Newman are the guards, and Langer is the center. I believe I've been through the entire Bills defense. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for Miami at the 33. Hand off to Devin Williams on 3rd and short, and he gets the first down and maybe in a couple more. So Doug Becker with a tackle, and so they'll spot the ball at the 30-yard line. The Dolphins have run it 6 times for 29 yards. Greasy has only need to throw it once, and they got 6 points out of it. Devin Williams again, this time a trap play to the right. Gets across the 30 to the 29 8-yard line before Shane Nelson makes the tackle. So 5 carries for Williams for 14 yards. 2nd down and 8 for the Dolphins from the Buffalo 28. And they already are in range for your Premium. Medium slant to Duriel Harris is the call. Greasy has Harris open, and across the 20, it's a first down to the 15 before the cornerback Clark could make the stop. And already Harris has a season-high 87 yards on 2 catches. It helps when you have a 72-yarder to your credit. 1st and 10 for Miami from the Buffalo 13. And it's a dive to the other Harris on 1st and 10. And he has a little bit of room across the 15 to the 10 to the 5. McClanahan, the inside linebacker, makes a touchdown-saving tackle at the 1-yard line. So Harris has 3 carries for 29 yards. Buffalo wanted a pass, and it was a run instead. So 2:26 to go. Miami goes with a two-back set, a two tight end set. Devin Williams on a trap to the right, and he's got a block, and is he in? No, he's just short. It's actually on the goal line, and so he'll step out. It does help his average. So it'll be Davis on second and goal from the 1-inch line. If you drew a line, it would be longer than what they need. So Gary Davis comes in. He'll go off tackle to the left. And on his first carry of the game, he's dropped short. A loss of 1. So they spawn it at the 1. Buffalo with a good goal line stand. They played for the run. Let's see. Do we bring in Greasy here? They got to go Greasy on a sneak. From the 1. Waits for his line to move some blockers. He will not get it. Nelson makes a tackle, and they spotted about 2 inches short. So, Don Shula will take the rest of the quarter to think about it. After 1, it is Miami 14, Buffalo 7. And they'll take the easy 3 and give it to Yepremian, who has a difficult 99.5% chance of making this. Kick is up. It is good. So with 14:57 to go in the first half, it is Miami 17, Buffalo 7. Yepremian gets a foot on it. And again, it'll be one of the Buffalo upbacks who takes it at the 2 or the goal line to the 10, 15, 20. Good return, 30, 31-yard line. Curtis Brown on the return, and Small, who's a special teams player, makes the tackle. So Buffalo starts this drive in decent position to start the second quarter. Bob Greasy has only thrown it twice. He's 2 for 2 for 87 yards. Joe Ferguson threw it 5 times in the first quarter, has a touchdown and an interception. But if Buffalo cannot run the football, they are in deep doo-doo. Bob Chandler on a long slant. They're trying to get Miami to back up. But Ferguson's flushed. He throws it to Chandler across midfield to the Miami 43. Or 44. It's a gain of 25. So Bob Chandler has 2 catches for 78 yards. And Curtis Johnson with a tackle. So Buffalo now is in Miami territory at the 44. Down 10 just the start of the second quarter. Miller on the pitch left. Buffalo working out left to right. He gets a little bit of room. Darren Herder will make the tackle at the 40-yard line. And Terry has a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for the Miami 40. Let's see, Brown off tackle left. And Miami seems to have spotted that, and he gets to the 40 and no more. Steve Towle, Towle, with a tackle. And no gain. They blitzed 3, and they wanted Lewis for the pass play. And so even though Buffalo had it in their favor, Curtis Brown went nowhere. And it'll be 3rd down and long for the Bills at the Miami 40. Ruben Gant on a short cross is the call. Ferguson back to throw, well protected. Now he's going to have to run. He gets the first down. There's a flag down. He gets to the 30. He gets inside of the 25 before Thomas makes a tackle.
Offense, number 88.
But Gant, the intended receiver, will hold. Oh, and that's huge. That's a 24-yard change on the play because Ferguson found the hole and got the first down. But instead, it'll be 3rd and 16. As my dear friend Bugs Bunny would say, what a maroon. Ball is at midfield. And it's just going to be hooks in the short flat and hope that Buffalo can do something here. Ferguson finds. No, he can't. Hooks dropped it. Hooks had some open field and he dropped it. So Buffalo will have to punt. Oh, that penalty was a killer. And Rusty Jackson will come out into that mild wind with Cephalo standing back while Miami will let it roll. Let's see if they can get it for a touchback. Cephalo gets out of the way. And it'll roll dead about the 10-yard line. And they spy at the 8. And so Cephalo goes back, and so Miami starts this drive from their own 8. It'll be a medium hitch to, oh, it's a flag.
False start. Offense, number 38. Repeat, first
One
down.
of the Harrises makes the false start. It's the running back, and so Miami will start this drive at the 4. So Buffalo in good shape. It'll be Davis on 1st and 10. And he escapes the end zone, but not much more than that. Buffalo blitz 4. Laward McCreary, the backup tight end, with a bad run. And it'll be 2nd and 13 at the Miami 5. So Buffalo, if they could force Miami out here, will be in good shape. Gary Davis stays in the game, and they'll go off tackle to the far side. And he gets across the 10, and that's a fumble on the play. Dokes knocks it out. Buffalo recovers at the 5-yard line. White will recover it, and Buffalo starts this drive from the Miami 7. So Miami turns it over deep in range, and Buffalo, at worst, should get 3 points. Lewis on a short cross. They want this to be a short one-play drive. Ferguson rolls. He looks. It's incomplete. He tried to check down to Brown, and Brown just wasn't on the same page. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ferguson is 3 for 8 for 98 yards and a tackle. 2nd down and goal from the 7. Miller. Off tackle right is the call. And Miami stuffs him right there. Chambers without a gain. They wanted Miller to get it. He did, and Rusty Chambers makes the tackle. 3rd down and goal. Andrew Chandler on a short slant. Ferguson has to roll. He looks for Brown. Brown has it at the 5. Brown will score. So Brown had an opening. This time he was looking for Ferguson's. If he was in trouble, Ferguson had to roll. He checked down to Brown, and Brown makes it a 4-point game. Dempsey's extra point is good. It hooked left, but it's good. And so with 10:38 to go in the half, hey, we have an old AFL game here. It's Miami 17, Buffalo 14. So Dempsey gets the ball away, and so Buffalo's trick worked. Forced Miami to make a mistake and take advantage. That's what they did. Ball taken at the 20 to the 25. Duriel Harris on the return. He'll get a credit for 22. And so it'll be Miami's ball at the 25-yard line, 10:32 to go in the half. Medium hitch to Knapmore is the call. Greasy flushed. Incomplete. Moore had it, but Romes timed his tackle, helmet to the back in time, and Moore couldn't hang on. So he's credited with a drop. Harris off tackle to the far side is the call. Has some room, but only to the line of scrimmage before Nelson makes the tackle. Shane Nelson has 5 stops for the Bills. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Williams back in. Rather, not Dan, is the 3rd receiver in the slot. Bo rather, who made 2 catches on the year for 55 yards. And Tillman, the tight end, is playing for the first time. And that's where Greasy, that's where Greasy goes. I screwed up. Short cross across the middle. However, it's to Williams at the 30. He gets a first down and more. So I botched the play. Greasy read the blitz, but I didn't give him a chance to audible. So he dumps it down to Williams, and it's a gain of 10. 1st and 10 for Miami at their own 37. Devin Williams with a 10-yard catch. They stay with 3 wide. Williams on a sweep to me across the 40 to the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5. Bob Kuchenberg, the big left tackle, makes the big hole. Ben Williams with a stop. 8:55 to go. 2nd quarter. Leroy Harris on the dive. And they'll dive it right into the blitz. It's a quick set. There's not much room, however. McClanahan with a tackle after a gain of 2. Bills played for the pass, but they'll be glad to do that. So it'll be 3rd down and 3 for Miami at their own 44-yard line. Under 8 minutes to go in the half. Davis. Gary Davis off tackle left is the call, the near side. And it started pretty good, but Lucius Sanford read the play rather well and will stop him a couple yards short. So Miami's going to have to punt. Miami's had 21 plays, and they've run it 17. And Guy Roberts will punt for the first time today. Moody and Piccione will just let this roll. Where do we spot it? I actually picked it up at it rolls dead at the 5. It's a 50-yard punt. So Buffalo, deep in their own territory, will start. They trail by 3, 17-14 with 6:53 to go. And again, Buffalo, who was a good running team, has been held to 3 yards on 10 carries. Brown, a pitch to the near side on 1st down. Gets it across the 5. He gets a good one before A.J. Dewey knocks him out at the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 3. And that's Dewey's 3rd tackle. 2nd down and 7 for Buffalo. They have given this a respectable showing. Lewis on a medium hitch. Ferguson has time. Dumps it off, though, incomplete to Brown. So Miami, this time they doubled Frank Lewis. 4 for 10 is what he's actually thrown for, but he's thrown for 2 touchdowns and 105 yards. It'll be 3rd and long. Short slanted Grant with 3 wide receivers. Ferguson throws. Gant has it. Foley makes the tackle, and they're short. He stopped. He had to wait for the throw, and he's a yard short. So Buffalo is going to punt from their own 14-yard line. And again, out comes Rusty Jackson. Jimmy Cephalo stands on his 45. Comes in. Miami's going to have great field position here. He has it at the 50 and is driven back. A loss of 1 by Gillick. So Cephalo had to come in for it. It was only a 36-yard punt, but a net of 37. And Miami will start with 5:55 to go in the first half from their own 49-yard line. Long slant to Matt Moore. Let's see if Miami can make some magic. Gracie looks, has Moore inside the 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 6. A one-play drive, a 51-yard touchdown pass to Matt Moore, and it's 23-14. Greasy, or Yepremian, will hit the extra point. So Greasy is 4 for 5 for 148 yards and 2 scores. And with 5:40 to go, it's Miami 24, Buffalo 14. Yepremian gets the kick away. Fielded at the 2, to the 10, 15, 20, good rush, 30, 35. It was Moody. They knock him down at the 33-yard line. Cornelius, not Don, will make the tackle, and so Buffalo was in good shape, starting from their own 33-yard line. But they have got to find a way to run this at Miami. They haven't been able to do it. Roland Hooks comes in as the other back. Yeah, I'd say Mr. Greasy's having himself a pretty good afternoon, and as his longtime broadcast partner Keith Jackson would say, ho-ho, Nelly! Hooks on an off tackle to the right. Buffalo has all the time in the world and 3 timeouts. And he gets to the 35 before Larry Gordon makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Buffalo trails 24-14, second quarter. In a battle of 2-0 teams at the Orange Bowl. Lewis on a medium cross. Ferguson back to throw. He's flushed. He's going to get sacked by Dan Herder. He never saw him coming. We'll watch the replay here on the sack. It's a loss of 7 and Vern de Herder. That sounds like something from the Swedish Chef from the Muppets. Vern de Herder, Herder, Herder. Let's watch the replay. Ferguson knew he didn't have anybody open. And he was about to run a take off, and Dan Herder just tried to strip the ball. Came from behind. So it's 3rd down and long. Miller in the short flat is the call. And he's got room at the 25 to the 30, 35 before Thomas and a swarm of Dolphins make the tackle after a gain of 8. Norris Thomas, who's also had himself a pretty good day with the tackle. They'll spot the ball at the Buffalo 35, and we'll have a punt. For Rusty Jackson. Out there again, Jimmy Cephalo's on his own 20. And he steps up to his 30. This is a short punt. And he's immediately stopped at, he called for a fair catch and it stops at the 31. So Rusty is 4 punts for 152 yards. And so Davis and Harris out there again behind Greasy, who is having himself a whale of a game. Davis on a sweep left. No, it's a botched play. Greasy picks it up. He'll run. It's fumbled. It's recovered by Miami. Greasy recovers his own fumble. And everyone in the Orange Bowl has a sigh of relief. 2nd down and 10, clock running. And we'll run the same play again. Davis on a sweep to the left. Across the 30. Buffalo stops that. No gain. And Buffalo will call time. Ben Williams makes the tackle. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for Miami. Medium slant to McCreary. The tight end is the call. Greasy has time. He rolls. He looks. He waits. Checks it down to Davis at the 35. The ball is it loose? No. Sanford makes the catch. Buffalo calls timeout. Miami's going to be forced to punt. There's 1 timeout for Buffalo and the 2-minute warning. So Guy Roberts will try to boot this thing away. And boot it he does. Backing up the returner inside of the 15-yard line. He'll make the fair catch right there. So a punter 49, Lou Piccioni wanted none of that. And with 2:15 to go, Buffalo would like to get 3. Would like to get 3. Let's see. What are we going to do here? 1st and 10. Buffalo can has a 2-minute warning and a timeout. Chandler on a medium hitch. Ferguson is flushed. He loses the football. It's recovered and Miami will score. Chambers makes the sack. Gordon picks it up and scores. And so instead of it being a 2-score game, Miami's about to go up 31-14. And it really is at the blink of an eye that a game can change. Yepremian nails the extra point. And again, with 2:08 to go, it's Miami 31, Buffalo 14. Buffalo's offensive line was there to start for the run. It's what made O.J. Simpson so successful all those years. And when they draft Joe Cribbs, I believe in either 79 or 80, IMAX, Cribbs was their offense. It set it up. But today, they got a 1,000-yard back there with Miller. But Miami has given them nothing, and they'll like it. 12 carries for 7 yards. And Ferguson just is not going to be able to beat you. They'll start this drive from the 20. Trailing 31-14. We're still in the first half. Miller on a sweep right. Let's see what happens this time. He doesn't get anything. A.J. Dewey with his 4th tackle takes us to the 2-minute warning. Miami 31, Buffalo 14. Piccioni on a short slant. If Buffalo could get 3 here, I think they'd be all right in the second half. Babb deflects it, incomplete. 1:55, and Ferguson, he's doing about as well as he can. Miami has a good pass defense. So 3rd down and 10. 1:55 to go. Reuben Gant on a medium hitch. Ferguson to throw. Has time, but not anymore. He dumps it off to Miller, who won't get the first down. Chambers with a quick tackle. And Buffalo will call timeout with 1:11 to go to punt. And I think Miami's just going to take this one to the house after. But what a first half of football from the Orange Bowl. Rusty Jackson punts. Cephalo back. Moves in. Miami can actually do something here. They have all 3 timeouts. Ball taken at the 40 by Cephalo. He gets it to the 45 across midfield. And it's fumbled by Miami. Ariema with a tackle. But Kim Bocamper recovers. And Miami has it at the Buffalo 48. Oh, Miami was a house of horrors for everyone in the entire AFC East. I mean, Buffalo went, and the Patriots went an entire decade without winning here. Then they moved to Then they moved to where they play now, Sun Life or Sun Rock or whatever, and it hasn't been the same. But right now, Bob Greasy can really put this one away. Can you imagine 38 points in the first half? Could you? They have all 3 timeouts. Greasy looks for more on a short slant. Has time, has more at the 40. But Williams will make the stop at the 39. 2nd down and 1. Pitch to Davis in a hurry up to the near side. Davis loses yards. In fact, he loses 3. Out of bounds. Clock stopped with 40 seconds left. That's the first real mistake that the Dolphins have made. Yep. Al says the Pats finally beat them in the AFC Championship game in '85, squished the fish. And up until their Super Bowl win over the St. Louis Rams in New Orleans, that was the biggest one in that franchise's history. Even bigger than the Tuck Rule game, because the Patriots were expected to be good that year. All right, 3rd down and 4. Andre Tillman comes in. He'll take the short cross on 3rd and 4. 40 seconds to go. Greasy has time, and he has Tillman for a first down at the 35. And Green will make the tackle. It's a gain of 8. And Miami will call a timeout. So Greasy is 7 for 8 for a $170. 31-14 Miami. And we go 3 wide. Devin Williams in a short flat. 1st and 10. Greasy hits him. Greasy to the 35, to the 30, to the 25. He has a gain of 10. He stays in bounds. And again, Miami calls time with 24 seconds left. Duriel Harris on a medium cross with 26 seconds left. Greasy flushed, looks, throws, deflected by Clark and incomplete. 19 seconds to go. And I believe we've reached the point where Delvin Williams will come in here. We'll keep it 3 wide and set up the draw for Upremian. So this is to get Upremian closer. And he gets it to the 20, to the 17-yard line. Miami ticks it down to 2 seconds. And here comes Upremian on 3rd down from the Buffalo 17. Upremian has an 85% chance to make this. Roberts will hold the punter. And the kick is up, and it is right down Broadway at the end of the first half. Miami 34, Buffalo 14. And we'll let you look at the box score for a moment. Greasy's 8 for 10, and he's having a perfect game for 180 yards. Ferguson is just not playing that badly. But if you look at the running for Buffalo, their leading rusher is 4 yards. Meanwhile, Miami's running 21 times for 66. If you were late, if you were out picking up a sandwich, here's how the scoring went. It seems to be some timing involved here. Buffalo got on the board first. Ferguson to Lewis, and first drive of the game made it 7-0 Buffalo, and then Miami. Greasy, a 72-yard bomb to Duriel Harris, tied the game. Then Norm Thomas with an interception return from 45 made it 14-7. Upremian kicked a field goal to start the second quarter, made it 17-7. And Buffalo got a 7-yard pass after a Miami turnover. Ferguson to Brown made it 17-14. Then Greasy on a one-play drive hitting out more to make it 24-14. Gordon on a sack made it 31-14, and Upremian at the gun makes it 34-14. So that's what got us here. And why are we featuring Buffalo and Miami? Well, Miami's 2-0, but surprisingly so is Buffalo. They're 2-0 coming into this game. They are tied for first in the AFC East. And it wasn't like Buffalo beat cheap teams. They beat the Super Bowl champion and the future Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers in week 1. So Buffalo has earned this 2-0 record. Miami 9 first downs to 5. And the time of possession is pretty much even. Oh, hey, Sarah. My wife's going to open the door here, and I'm going to get the cat. Now's a good time to do that. Don't know if you heard me or not. So both teams have had big plays, and Miami has blitzed the bejesus out of Ferguson, and it's worked. Third down, Buffalo 3 for 9, and Miami's 3 for 6. Now's a good time for you to go. So open up the door. All right, so here we go. Miami will get the kickoff from Dempsey. And the second half begins at the 8-yard line, to the 15, 20, 25, 30, has room to the 40. Duriel Harris with a 33-yard return for Miami. And Delvin Williams comes back. So 34-14 Miami to start the second half. I'll leave it open. I thought you had to go to a meeting. Yeah, well, it's 10 of 1. Okay. Anyway, with that little husband and wife exchange, you didn't miss anything. It was a no gain. Shane Nelson with a tackle, his 8th of the year. Sarah will get her revenge. I'm sure she's giving the cat some catnip or something. So, second down and 10. Leroy Harris on a trap left Miami by 20. And he gets some room. He gets to the 45 to midfield before Lucius Sanford makes a tackle. Third down and 1. Big play coming up for Buffalo here. Devin Williams on a draw play, but Buffalo has people in the backfield. He sidesteps that. He gets the first down. Sanford makes a tackle, but not before Williams can get 2 yards. So Sanford has 7 tackles, and Miami has a new set of downs on the Buffalo 48. Medium slant to Andre Tillman is the call. Tillman will probably come out after this play. He's tired. Greasy throws, and they weren't on the same page. So McCreary comes in as tight end. It'll be second down and 10. And we'll pitch it to the far side to Devin Williams. He gets across the 45 before Shane Nelson knocks him down after a gain of 6 at the 42. So Miami kind of going into a ground control efficient drive. Buffalo on average allowed 42 rushes a game. That was their Achilles heel. They just couldn't stop the running game. Third and 4. Not more on the short hitch. Buffalo has Greasy flushed. He looks. He throws. It's incomplete to Davis. And Buffalo will force a punt, which is what the best thing they could hope for was that. 11:57 to go. And out comes Guy Roberts, who booms all of that one. He forgot where he was on the field. Is this going to be a touchback? It is. So a small favor for the Bills as they start the second half with 11:50 to go here in the third from their own 20. They can still run the football. You don't have to go all aerial all the time, but they have to score. They have to get something on this drive. Miller on a sweep left, but
false start.
Somebody jumps.
Offense. Number 61.
Parker.
5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And that's not the same Parker. Their center jumped. How can a center have a false start? Can someone in the chat explain that to me? How can your center, who controls the play, it doesn't start without him, how the hell can he jump? That's what Chuck Knox is wondering. Miller on a sweep left. 1st and 15 for the Bills from their own 15. And he gets to near the original line of scrimmage before Steve Towell makes the tackle. Yeah, I didn't think so. Miller gets a gain of 4 on the play. They spotted at the 19. I don't get that. Bob Chandler on a medium slant. Ferguson back. Has time. He moves. He dumps it down to, oh, he was actually sacked by Den Herter, but he flipped it, and it's just incomplete. So another golden play in the annals of Buffalo Bills history there. And so it'll be 3rd down and 11. And from their own 19. Lewis on a medium cross. Ferguson has time. And that was almost intercepted. Lewis was double teamed. The Dolphins read it right. And they nearly caught him off guard for another pick 6. Instead, Buffalo has to punt. And they'll bring up Rusty Jackson. Oh, yeah, I'm having CPU issues. Okay. And Jimmy Cephalo will field that at the 45 to the 50. That's coming back.
Holding. Receiving team.
That's coming back.
15-yard penalty.
Brad62 says, go Bills. I wish I had better news for you. Thomas with the penalty. I wish I had better news for you, my friend. But Miami starts this drive at their own 31-yard line. Off tackle to Glenn Davis is the call. He gets across the 30, has room, 35-40, first down, 45, midfield, across into Buffalo territory to the 40, 35, and finally tackled by Charlie Romes at the 32-yard line. A gain of 37 on the play. So Miami really is one score away from us going into the final of filler. Short slant to Duriel Harris to give his running backs a break. Flag on the play. Greasy throws. Harris has it. He's got a first down if it's good.
Encroachment.
Yes, defense. It is.
Number 83, 5-yard penalty.
So they'll decline that. That was on White. Greasy had a free play, and it's a gain of 11. So Miami really enjoying this one now. Delvin Williams off tackle to the right, and he doesn't get to the 20. He's knocked down after no gain. And Shane Nelson has had a good day. He's had 10 tackles. You can't blame this on Shane. So the weather here at the Orange Bowl, it's a beautiful afternoon. 79 degrees, a chamber of commerce skies with hardly a breath of wind. And the Dolphins have taken full advantage. They lead 34-14. Remember, tomorrow, San Diego at Denver at the same time, at lunchtime, live around noon. Harris on an off tackle to the left. Waits for his blocks, gets nothing doing. White will make the tackle. Kuchenberg and Newman had the bad blocks. And Sherman White makes the stop. No gain. 3rd and 10. So again, if Buffalo can hold Miami, well, it's a 3-touchdown game. And your premium's a very good kicker. McCreary on a short slant on 3rd and long. Greasy has McCreary at the 25, at the 15. He gets the first down before Tony Green can make the tackle at the 10. It's a gain of 11, and it really is Miami's day. I fudged a bit, Brad, on that. It's not the poly turf. I went one field further back. The field that they had for this era have Dolphins written in the end zone. And I don't remember, maybe the last year they were at the Orange Bowl, which would have been 86, they might have decorated the end zones with a Dolphin logo in the end zone. But, yep, it's the poly turf. Actually, this was the first or second year that grass was back at the Orange Bowl. And I remember, you remember those old Street and Smith football yearbooks? I'll go after this play. I'll go on more. Williams on a trap left. There's a flag on the play. He'll get nowhere. McClanahan with the tackle.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense. Number 20.
Oh, what a...
Oh,
Clark.
First down.
So the cornerback, Clark, kind of got into a push and shove match, and he just shoved one too many times in front of a ref. And so the Dolphins has it first and goal from the Buffalo 5. Yeah, the polyturf is what you see. It wasn't AstroTurf brand artificial surface. It was the polyturf, and they played a lot of football here. The University of Miami played, the Dolphins played, you had the Orange Bowl. I mean, this was a Super Bowl year for the Orange Bowl. So there must have been, and I'm sure there were some high school games for Miami too, there must have been 20, 25 games a year. And so either in 77 or 78, they went to, because the Super Bowl in early 76 was on the polyturf. That's the one where Swan makes the ballerina catch that you've all seen a gazillion times. They went to something called prescription athletic turf, which essentially was grass. Now today, teams with grass will weave the field turf into it. It's a mostly grass field, but it has a stronger hold to it. But it was literally in those old Street and Smith football yearbooks, and it was called prescription athletic turf. Can you imagine what doctor said, oh yeah, I'll write you up an order for grass, just like that, and boom, there you go. Which means in this pre-legal marijuana, you could actually get a large prescription for grass for a football field. And as Dick Allen would say, the baseball player, if you can't smoke it, I don't want to play on it. First and goal from the 5. Williams on a sweep left. And he's waiting for his blockers that aren't going to come. He's tackled, stoned by Williams. I love how the play-by-play picked that up. Ed Newman couldn't get there to make the block, and Ben Williams makes the tackle, or as the computer playfully says to me, stoned by Williams. That's right. That's right. The Cowboys lost a heartbreaker in the Super Bowl. Jackie Smith, bless his heart, has to be the sickest man in America. That was a great game. That was Pittsburgh 35, Dallas 31. So second and goal from the 8. We're going to do Harris on a pitch to the far side here on second down and goal. And he can't get any blocking. So good stiffness for Miami. McCreary, the tight end, is out. Tillman comes back in. Nelson with his 11th stop. Yep, the Jackie Smith botch. I don't know why that's so hard to read. I'm doing this at the right bit rate. Anywho. So third down and goal. Buffalo has made a good stand following their own boo-boo. I'm going to go Nat Moore on the short cross for a touchdown. Greasy has time, has Moore. And Moore gets in the end zone. That's 6. So Moore had to fight for it, but he's in for his second touchdown of the game, and is now 40-14. The extra point by Apremian is good. McCreary's available. And with 6:55 to go, it is Miami 41, Buffalo 14. And you see there on the lower right-hand corner, maybe the stat for Miami that explains how they're about to go 3-0 to start the year. They scored 35 a game. This does not include today. But they've only allowed 13 points the first 2 games. Buffalo has scored more than Miami had allowed. They will return this for 1 yard deep. Fielded 1 yard deep to the 10, 15, and that was actually a bad decision by Moody. He only gets to the 17-yard line before Matheson makes the tackle. So with 6:49 to go in the third quarter, Buffalo takes it down by a bunch, and we owe you a station identification. This is the Retro Sports Network. This is AM 1700 WALR, Springfield, Hartford. All right. I'm Ron Juckett, 6:49 to go, third quarter on a beautiful day in Miami. They lead 41-14, the first of a doubleheader. Second game is tomorrow between San Diego and Denver. Short slant to Chandler is the call. Ferguson has time, and he is intercepted by Gordon. And Gordon's to the 10, 5, and this is ugly. I don't know who in the world Ferguson was throwing to there. Oh, he wanted the hooks. But Gordon read that all the way. That was the second interception of the season. Can we get a replay on that? Yeah, we can. I'm not sure who he was throwing to. And that was just a pick six. That's Miami's second pick six of the game. So Yepremian misses that one to the left. So he pulls of John Smith and misses that one to the left. But when you're up 48-14 with 6:40 to go, do you think anyone really cares? Yepremian kicks off. And yes, the House of Horrors continue. This one has gotten particularly Betty Davis pretty. Returned by Moody this time to the 25. It's a return at 25. And so with 6:36, we'll try this again. Miller on an off tackle to the left. And it gets to 25, 30. Going to get a first down out of this, will he? No. Gordon had gained a 9 after that. Terry Miller has 9 carries for 17 yards. And so Buffalo is netted 128, but 122 of that came from the air. Hooks on a trap left. They just want the first down, man. They get it, and it gets to the 38-yard line before Dan Herter. Dan Herter makes the tackle. That's his third. Buffalo, as I said, 27 points a game. That includes wins over the Steelers and the Jets. And their defense had done a good job until today. In real life, this was a one-touchdown game. 31-24 in favor of the Dolphins. But Buffalo was able to run the football. Something that, as you can see up here, 16 carries for 24 yards. They weren't able to do it today. Gant on the short out. Ferguson flags down. And it was a free play.
Number 73, 5-yard penalty.
Baumhauer, the defensive tackle, touched someone inappropriately, so it's 1st and 5 for Buffalo. 5:02 to go, third quarter. Let's see if we can do Chandler on a long hitch. It's a free play anyway. Ferguson has time. He looks, and he can't find anybody. It's the same play that he botched for interception to Roland Hooks. So 7 for 18 is Joe Ferguson with 2 touchdowns. A 2nd and goal. Miller on a pitch to the far side. And he gets past one defender. He'll get a first down, and it gets it to midfield before Gordon makes the tackle. That's 4 for Larry. It's a gain of 8. And Miami and Buffalo is in Miami territory. Miller sits for Brown. And Brown will try one short in the flat from Ferguson. He throws. Brown has it at midfield. He gets a few yards. He gets 5 before Chambers knocks him down inbounds for a gain of 5. 2nd down and 5 for Buffalo at the Miami 44. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So Brown off tackle right. And it's a late handoff, and the blocking just isn't there. A.J. Dewey, who's had a good game, knocks him down after a gain of 3. 3:26 to go. Brad62 says, I crave to play certain teams, college and pro at times. I've been playing single matchups as of late. And Al, Red Sox fan, says that can be a ton of fun. He does that as well. He's great. Al's great for the mini tournament. He's a master of that. So 3rd and 2. Roosevelt hooks trap left is the call. And he will get the first down. He crosses the 40 to the 35. a gain of 6 before Den Herder makes the tackle. So Buffalo finally grinding one out. Here's one fan I have who loves it when I do the grinding drives, but this is just a, you might as well see what you have. Treat this like an exhibition game. Buffalo, of course, won't be out of it technically. They'll be 2-1 after this, unless all hell breaks loose. Lewis on a medium hitch. They'll throw it on 1st and 10. Ferguson has time, and Thomas got a hand on it. That's a second deflection. He also had a pick 6, so Norris Thomas has had a good game. Miami has 2 defensive touchdowns. 2nd and 10 for the Bills. Brown off tackle right. Again, waits for his line to do some clearing. They clear a couple yards before Thomas makes his second tackle of the game. It's a gain of 3. 3rd and 7 coming. And Brad62 says it's a luxury for this hobby to be able to put up teams in display. And Al responds, except when I think that it's 3rd down because I've looked at the quarter, not the downs, and go for it. We all do mistakes. We all make mistakes. Gant on a short slant on 3rd and 7. Miami blitzes Ferguson in a world of hurt. He is sacked by Chambers. It's a loss of 3. Rusty Chambers has a second sack today. So they pretty much have Buffalo has taken themselves out of Dempsey range. What do I do here? I think you got to go for it. It'll be Chandler on the short cross, and voila, yes, are you sure? Yes, call this play. They're not going to punt it. He throws. Chandler has it. Does he get the first down? He does. So a gutsy call on 4th and long, and we've played 3 quarters. After 3, it's Miami 48, Buffalo 14. And so we start the 4th quarter. Buffalo still going left to right into the open end of the Orange Bowl. And I promise that there will be no ugly home run sculpture that pops up at the 10-yard line. Brown off tackle right. If you're not sure what I mean, he gets a little bit of blocking. He gets across the 20 to the 15. And it'll be 2nd down and inches from the 15-yard line. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, the Orange Bowl, which might have held more memorable pro and college games than any other arena in football history, was knocked down. It's now the new Marlins Stadium, and that god-awful home run sculpture they have is there instead. So 2nd down and inches for Buffalo from the Miami 15-yard line. Going to go hooks off tackle left. And he's got the first down and more to the 10, to the 5, and he's knocked down at the 3-yard line. So Joe Devlin opened up a big hole. Norris Thomas with a tackle, and that's a gain of 12. So Buffalo was run it 22 times for 66 yards. And on 1st and goal from the 3, Terry Miller comes back in. And he'll do a sweep to the far side. Will it do any good? Yes, it will. That's 6. And Buffalo's on the board again. So a touchdown finally for the Bills running core to make it 48-20. And the extra point is good. So with 13-14 to go, one more series for Greasy and company, that Miami leads it 48-21. Dempsey gets the ball away. One of the upmen will field it at the 2, to the 10, 15, and that's it. Iriema with a tackle. And Miami will start this one at the 14-yard line. You know, Brad talks about, and feel free in the chat just to chat, Brad talks about the 72 season and wishing the Dolphins would lose. Now, I'm a little young for that. I don't remember the 72 season, considering that I was not a year old. But I would venture to guess that the 73 team was a better team than the 72 team. And I'll tell you after this medium slant to more. Greasy is flushed. Will finally check it down to Harris at the 15. He gets to the 17 before Lucius Sanford makes his 8th tackle of the ballgame. Okay, I'll do this off tackle to the right to Williams, and then I'll go into why I think that. He gets nothing and will like it. In fact, he'll lose a yard. Sherman White with a tackle. You were 10. Okay, 10 tears? Well, I think, at 10 years old, we've cried about 10,000 tears. The weird thing about the 72 team was that the Dolphins had to go on the road in the playoffs. It was done by divisions. It was a divisional rotation. And I believe Miami had to go into Pittsburgh because the other divisional game was the Immaculate Reception. That was the Pittsburgh-Oakland game. And so Miami had to go into Pittsburgh to clinch the Super Bowl win. You were a diehard Dallas fan. I understand that. You got your revenge, though, a year or two later. Yeah, they had to play the AFC Championship game on the road. And yes, it was at Pittsburgh. Imagine that. Can you imagine that today? It's just nuts. It'll be 3rd and 8 for Miami. I'm going to do Harris in the short flat. Greasy throws. Harris has it. Now, will he get any yards? Well, he's going to get to the 21-yard line before Sanford makes the tackle. That's his 9th. And it'll be 4th down and 3 for Miami, and they'll punt. Guy Roberts comes in, and this will be fielded by Buffalo in good field position at their own 40 to the 44 before Moody makes the catch and Matheson makes the tackle. So Buffalo has allowed 334 yards net. Yeah, can't imagine being undefeated and having to go on the road twice. I don't think they played any games at the Orange Bowl that year for the playoffs. Can you imagine that now? Could you imagine the uproar if the Patriots, the year they went 16-0, had to go on the road for playoff games? That's just silly. All right, medium cross to Lewis. We'll do one more straight series for Ferguson and see what they can do. And he finds Ferguson at the Miami 45. He gets it to the 40, 35, 32-yard line, 33. It's a gain of 26. So the Dolphins are still playing regular football. How you doing, higher ground? Miami 48, Buffalo 21, 10:58 to go fourth quarter. Miami scored 34 in the first half, including a return for a touchdown by one Norris Thomas, who looks like one bad mother. Shut your mouth. Okay. Terry Miller on a trap left from the Miami 33. Gets it to the 30, 25-20. First down and more. Bocamper with the tackle at the 14-yard line. So reminder, we're doing this tomorrow at lunch between San Diego and Denver, and I promise you it'll be a more competitive game. Chandler on a short slant from the Miami 19. Ferguson has time, throws it over the middle, deflected by Johnson, and an incomplete. Second down and 10, 9.5 to go. I dropped. Brad lived in Florida, but didn't like any of the Florida teams. You know, the Red Sox and I've lived in New England most of my life, and the Red Sox and the Celtics are the only two New England teams I really root for. Shh, don't tell Al. Okay? Don't tell Al that. I dropped before I run the next play, another instructional video. What do you guys want to see me do some videos about? I created a field with Action PC Baseball. And as Al says, like, share, sub, and thank you. And I do appreciate anyone who watches these. These are fun to do. Run on a trap left on 2nd and 10 for the Miami 19. And he is swarmed over by Gordon at the line of scrimmage, and that's Larry's 5th tackle. It's a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11 for Buffalo from the Miami 20. Lou Picayune, the 3rd wide receiver, on a short crossing pattern. Ferguson has time. He's going to run it. He gets to the 20. He gets to the 15. He gets to the 10. And maybe a first down. No, he's short. He is short. He got 11 and needed 11 and a half. So it's 4th and inches from the Miami 9. On the run by Ferguson. Reuben Gant, the tight end, with a big hole there. And when you're down 27, I don't think a field goal really matters. So Curtis Brown will run on the fullback dive, and he's got it. That was a good call. Gordon with the tackle at the 6-yard line. So 1st and goal from the 6. Miller on a short flat, only expected to get 2. Ferguson looks, has Miller at the 10, Miller to the 5. Miller will score. And so it's a touchdown, and now it's a 20-point game. And Dempsey will hit that. So Miami will watch for the onside kick. 7:15, I'm going to take a drink here, to go in the football game. It's Miami 48, Buffalo 28. And while you watch the... Nope, they're going to kick. I called for the... Thought they would do the onside. Ball is taken at the 5, to the 10, 15, 17, and knocked down at the 18-yard line. So with 7:08 to go, Mr. Greasy's done for the day. Norm Bullock and Williams, Jimmy Cephalo, and rather Hardy and Benjamin is your backup quarterback. I don't think Miami is going to blow this, and I can always bring back Greasy if Buffalo can score. Bullock on a trap to the right is the call from the Miami 18, and he gets it to the 20. Has room. He gets a first down across the 30, 35. Clark with the tackle at the 37. A gain of 19 as Bruce Hardy makes a huge block, the tight end, on his first play. So Miami, with 6:57 to go in the football game, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Delvin Williams on a trap to the left is the call. And Delvin has a little bit of room. He gets it to the 40 before Randy McClanahan makes the tackle. 2nd down and 7 for Miami. They are going to go 3-0. Bullock on a sweep to the far side is the call. The handoff is there, and there's nobody there. Dokes with the tackle. The loss of 3. We go under 5 minutes or 5:40 to go. 3rd down and 10. Benjamin in for Greasy. Greasy went 13 for 17 for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. Short slant to Jimmy Cephalo is the call. Has time, has Cephalo at the 45. First down, midfield, and more to the 45. He broke 1 tackle. It's a gain of 19. There's Shane Nelson in his second, with his 12th tackle. Yeah, Brad, I agree with you. Miami could have been the team of the decade. But honestly, Oakland, Kenny Sadler made 5 straight conference championship games. They only made the Super Bowl once. They won it, but they kept running into the Steelers. And that after the 77 season, they ran into Denver. They will not make the conference championship in this year unless a lot of amazing things happen. In real life, remember, it was Pittsburgh and the Oilers. Braxton is in for the running back. Yeah. And he'll get the trap to the left, as Norman Bullock has done for the day. Braxton back to the line of scrimmage and gain of 1. So we'll spot it at the 43. And Clanahan with a tackle. There were some great teams. You know, I was looking through to see what I was doing next week, and there are games that I've forgotten. Like, oh yeah, these two teams played. Now, granted, I was 6 years old. Al doesn't like parody. My wife and I were watching the Vikings. She's a Packer fan, and so we don't watch a lot of football, but we were watching the Vikings and Packers. And to tell you just how little football I watched, I had no idea that regular season football now played a 10-minute overtime. You're going to get more ties that way. 2nd down and 9. Williams on a trap to the right. And he gets nothing, but the clock runs and we're under 3.5. Nelson with his 13th stop there. 48-28 Miami. 3rd down and 9. And we'll get a short one in the slot. Benjamin to throw. Benjamin is flushed. Benjamin will run. He gets to the 45, to the 43. And is the ball loose? No. It's a 1-yard gain for Benjamin. And with 3:03, 4th and 8. Roberts will send this one to the sideline. And that will go out of bounds roughly about the 9-yard line. Where did they spot it? At the 4. So a 38-yard punt. And we go to a blowout offense. Mays the quarterback now for Buffalo. 2:27 left. We'll go Hooks on an off tackle to the left. And he gets to the 5 to the 10-yard line. Van der Herder with a tackle, or Vern der Herder. And we go to the 2-minute warning. So tomorrow it's San Diego and Denver at noontime. Mr. Brody, my favorite dog. I won't sing this time, okay? Eric, I won't sing. This one's been over really since the half. 2nd down and 6 for Buffalo. And Dennis Johnson will go off tackle to the left. Friday night, or actually, I'm going to not do a game Friday. We'll do the Mets one soon. Sunday, don't forget hockey. Would love to have you with us live about 1 o'clock. Edmonton and Montreal. That should be a good one from Montreal. You're more than welcome. 3rd down and 7. Ruben Gant on a medium slant. Did someone actually stop the clock? It's kind of tipped, batted by Barish and incomplete. So Dave Mays, the quarterback. See, I get smiley marks when I don't sing. I should sing just for that. Al should sing. Has Al ever sung on one of his streams? Buffalo a punt. Rusty Jackson is there. Cephalo at midfield. I think I'll get a beta fish. Cephalo at the 45. And we'll able to kind of hold on to it. 1:17 left. Braxton on a drive. On a dive, and that'll go nothing. So, executive producer of Retro Sports Network is Emily the Cat. Emily is so excited by this game, she is sound asleep next to me, ignoring it all. Al sings all the time on his show. The coordinating producer of Retro Sports Network is the wife who's not here. She's glad that I do this, and she doesn't have to hear it. A promotional consideration has been paid by Retro Sports Network to the Polar Seltzer Company of Worcester, Massachusetts, future home of the Woo Sox. Polar Seltzer, all natural and yummy, yummy. So those are the next 2 scheduled live streams. It's football tomorrow at noon, San Diego and Denver, and then hockey on Sunday at 1. And between Edmonton and Montreal, along with some stuff that I'm still taping. And that's delighted to hear that Eric picked up some new kids. Mr. Brody howls when Al sings. Mr. Brody howls when I sing. So glad that you're getting busy again. Gary Davis on a dive, a minute 11, and the clock running slowly. It's probably one of the longest videos yet. Nelson with the tackle. That's Shane's 15th tackle of the game. And so, that's it. This one is over. Miami goes to 3-0 with a 48-28 win. Amazingly enough, Buffalo scored 14 in the fourth quarter. But the killer really was the Gordon interception with 6:40 to go. It was 41-14. Buffalo had an outside shot if everything went right, but Buffalo scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Greasy 13 for 17 for 218, and just short. We'll talk to you later, Al. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And for that'll do it for us momentarily. That's the final score. Miami 48, Buffalo 28. Tomorrow, San Diego and Denver from Denver. Please join us, and I'm Ron Juckett. Thanks a whole bunch. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have yourself a good day.